So you might be wondering, why Lost Crusade, and more importantly, rather, what am I going to learn in this video today? I'm gonna pretty much teach you a handful of little things regarding the game's mechanics, and I guess to kind of explain, like, really what it is that you can do in your off time. So a lot of people will start out and you'll more than likely you'll get your buildings built up. You're gonna slowly but surely rack up all your different buildings, and you're gonna get a defense array, a landing pad, and eventually you'll get all your resource tile buildings. Again, these are all unlocked relatively as you increase your battle barge, right? But the main thing that I want to stress here is that you want to work on getting predators, you want to work on getting tier 1 dreadnoughts. These are the two that you're going to use for gathering for the most part. Outside of that, then you want to continuously work on getting tier 3 units. And once you get tier 3, just start spamming tier 3, because tier 3s are pretty useful. Not the best unit in the game, but they're relatively better than most people will have in the first week or two. That, and most people will be dumb and start sending their own marches on auto without ever actually putting them together like I've been telling you to do. And if you haven't, watch the video before this if you really want a synopsis of everything that I've been saying so far. Of course, don't be spending your crystals on deep rescue. I recommend buying a pack and doing it that way instead, which, again, if you don't know where that's at, it's in benefits, and then go from here. If you're going to say what pack is the best for your buck, I would say the stamina pack is probably your best money for what you're going to get, because what you're going to use that for is you're going to go to heroes. And then as you're ranking up your heroes, again, picking one hero and sticking with like maybe 3 is probably best. So like I'm actually specking to really work on Tycho, Cordis, and Lastor, because those are the 3 that I prefer to use. But I've also got Ernica as a backup for marches. Legendaries in themselves are really good heroes, but they're not good if they don't have the rank and their tier up. So it's something that you want to be considerate of, at least as you're going around picking your heroes. Outside of that, though, as far as like getting your VIP level up and such, I mean, again, you buy packs, you get higher VIP level. That's pretty much all there is to it. Other than that, let's actually kind of get into the actual mechanics. So like you know how I was telling you about stratagems? Well, here's what some of the stratagems are. Like here I can get a lump of resources, and I can get some for my production buildings. Useful if if you actually have those upgraded. I don't have mine all the way up. You can also get 50 AP. You can get a collection speed increase for 2 hours that gets up to 100% when you get servitor overload, which is really useful if you're wanting to gather really, really quickly, which I do, because I like to gather. And then, of course, I work on building my units up, and that's pretty much what I do. But outside of that, I actually go out and do events, and I do a lot of them. I don't like stick around doing 1 or 2. I go as ham as I can. So like here, I've already pretty much achieved all of stage 4, and I've done I think I've already done pretty much all the stages for the most part, which is just to train as many of these units as you possibly can. Of course, you can see here what the rankings are. So like I'm unranked. I don't have hardly any ranking right now, because basically everybody and their dog is trying to upgrade and build as many units as possible, and that's why their rank is going up to the sky. So like if I was to just sit here and start building my rank 6 units, I'd actually catch up pretty quickly. So like for example, that batch of level 3s pretty useful, right? But if I just made like some level 6s here, which again is a steep price to pay, it's also 15 hours just to do like 100 of those, and then it's 3,500 crystals. Like, boy, I don't think most people don't realize how expensive that is unless you really start playing the game. You really will. The realization of what that is really going to cost you will sink in. But as you can see, just by doing that, it put me at 847. But to catch up with Death, who's like near rank 1 in server 66, I'd have to keep spamming, making units, rinse, repeat on bullets mode. And if I was going to do that, I would more than likely work on making a lot of vanguards, a lot of dreadnoughts, and then probably not far behind it, I'd probably want to work on making either Primaris or Whirlwinds or Predators. And it just varies on what it is I'm doing at the time. But for the most part, I'm also working on Freeblade, because Freeblade's pretty much, you use this guy for upgrading your actual armies, like overall benefit. It's really useful if you're trying to do like breach assault and such. He comes in handy just in general. Like once you get to about, I would say, battle barge 15 or so, you're gonna notice that this guy makes a hell of a difference. You just don't want to ignore him. I mean, once you get to where I'm at, it's really noticeable. But other than that, as far as like bonuses go, you can get attack protection. And again, if you want to avoid losing troops, the only way really to avoid losing troops in this game is attack protection, because that's the only thing you have to keep yourself from actually losing troops. You can get scout protection as well to kind of give yourself some aid. Of course, you can also get bonus production and so forth in your buffs. You know, if you've ever wanted to change your name when you first play the game, you can go to rename, or you can change your avatar. Like me, I've got almost all of them except for like a couple. Of course, there's like Maya that we haven't seen yet, Garrison, Agatone, Greyfax, Mephiston, you know, and then there's even different little, you know, little icons like the Warhammer Skull Frame and stuff that you can probably get during certain events. But these are just things to be considerate of just down the road. Outside of that, though, I don't know. I mean, I feel like if for example, if we're gonna go and let's say, I'm gonna go and join this rally real quick. Of course, I always find myself in this situation. Got too many units. It hurts. It hurts myself. And then, of course, there's not really like a quick, easy way to do this either, which is unfortunate. But hopefully, there will come a day when there will be an easier way to do this. As you can see, it's very tedious, but all the same, yeah. So here I get a couple clips there. I don't know. Something else is intels. So you use intel pretty frequently. You use this to pretty much get stuff like every day. So you can get fragments. You can get pretty much these ones with the crosses. You send your heroes. These you just send your armies. You always have to have more marching queues for them, though, and a lot of troops. So we may build up some troops, actually, since I could probably use it. Let's see. Nope, no more march queues, so now I just gotta wait and get all our loot here. So we'll just grab our loots, and that's pretty much where we're at with that. Okay, so once we get that, we got our... So like there, we got some Urnica fragments. Like some of these major legendary heroes, you don't necessarily have to pay to win to get. You can just slowly but surely work on getting them. It's just gradual. It's very gradual. It's like slow as hell, but it's still there nonetheless. Now, one of the things that is nice is that after you get to a certain point in the game, you can actually get auto battler on, which is kind of nice. So I'll just show you what auto battle does. You won't get it initially, but you will eventually get it. And you can just throw this on, and then I could just hands-free, don't have to do anything, and it does everything for me. Now, of course, I can tediously, you know, touch buttons, make it go faster, or, you know, quicker to my own desire, but generally, you really don't have to mess with Auto Battler that often. For a lot of you that hesitate, though, that want to play the game, just to, you know, without spending and all that jazz, all the power to you, and if you're ever interested and want to play the game, feel free to check it out. Of course, I'm going to send my free blade in here since they're down to the 20-second mark, and they're still not at the major mark yet, so I'm hoping we can kill that thing within 10 seconds. And we did. Okay. Sometimes it needs a little help. Just a little. But, you know, that's just kind of the way it is. Outside of that, then pretty much I can get my little bonuses for the day from my scan level. And again, you can work on that scan level just by doing intels every day. And of course, you can manually scan, so there's always that as well. As you can see, we already got our 2 loots there, and then we've got 1 more scan to do. So we'll just go do that real quick. We're almost at scan level 10, so we're making our progress, my friends. I guess something else too that comes to mind is, you know, again, when you're watching this, you can kind of get an idea of just like what I mean, this is probably the coolest thing of Lost Crusade, is you can actually kind of, it reminds you of more like Dawn of War in terms of just like the RTS aspect to it. I wish this was more like the entire game. Like, I wish like actual battles were just like this, because most people get really perplexed by the battle system. They don't really know or rather understand it. I'll actually show you something with the battle system in case you're curious as to how it all works and rather like what to make sense of, I guess, because some people are a little baffled, and even I'm still a little baffled looking at it every once in a while. I look at it and go, what does that mean? Okay, so let me show you. In case it, you know, catches your eye, or rather you're just interested or provoked and wondering. So like for example, let me pick up an example. Of course, I like to quick pick my options here, but let me see if I can show you. Like, yeah, this is one of those like really nice army benefits here. So like here, I can click on army details. It'll tell me what I sent. Let me see if I can find one of those marches that I sent. I believe, where is that under? It's probably under personal. No, reports. There it is. Okay, so, like, even though this guy had, like, no troops, right? Granted, didn't have a free blade garrison and all that jazz, right? But you got all these bonuses and all the stats. Well, one of the things you want to check here is this little bot icon up here, because this is going to tell you what the preparation and the battle stages are. So like preparation, you'll see it here. Oh yeah, he gets damage reduction, damage reduction, damage reduction. You know, all these bonuses because of Tycho. And then, oh yeah, you get Cordis bonus, and then Alaska. Oh, and then you get bonus, and then, you know, all of his bonuses. And then the battle stage begins. His turrets go off. You know, normally, right, you're going to see that, oh yeah, Laster's going to kick off his abilities, and then your dreadnoughts are going to get hit. And then shortly after your dreadnoughts get hit, then your Primaris are going to go in. And then after your Primaris go in, then your vanguards. And it all varies, you know, depending on the speed of your enemy and then also the speed of your troops. But generally it's dreadnoughts and then shortly thereafter everything else. But yeah, outside of that, that is pretty much all there is to know about it. It's something that if you didn't know about it, that's just something to check out if you haven't seen it. Yeah, other than that, of course, I'm using Nox Player, so if you guys do not know how to play this game on your computer, just look up Nox Player, or rather look up Nox, and you'll find it, download it, and then when you've downloaded it, there'll be Google Play in the down center it's an emulator, right? But you can download the app, and then what you want to do is if you've been playing this game on your phone, you want to make sure you link your account. If you don't know how to do this, go to settings and then go to account, and then you can link your account to a Google account, Facebook, whatever it may be, as long as you can get into it. That's pretty much all there is to it. Other than that, that is pretty much my seeds of advice for the day. I hope some of this was helpful for you, and hopefully you learned a thing or two. And I'll see you guys to the next video.